Heidi Mercer. I'm the Assistant Superintendent of Teaching and Learning for Lake Orion Community Schools. Welcome to the March edition of Inside the Dragons. First, I'd like to thank all of our community for the support that they have extended during these uncertain times. All of us are in a time that we just do not know all of the things that are going to come out of this. So we appreciate your continued patience and support as we keep our students' safety and academics our number one priority. We have 5 segments in this issue of Inside the Dragons. First, March is Reading Month. There are a lot of things happening during this month as well. Senator Rosemary Bayer visited Paint Creek Elementary. Musher Dan makes annual trips to Stadium Drive and Paint Creek with his dogs. Our LOHS senior, Cheyenne Washington, wins the State Bowl Championship. And our Weber STEM partnership with Bosch engineers. Again, thank you for watching Inside the Dragons and continue to remain positive as we work together through these uncertain times. Thank you.
Every March, students across the country gather their books and gear up for reading challenges. In each of the Lake Orion Community Schools, there's a different, unique approach to the month to promote reading. At the high school, the Learning Center encouraged staff members and students to get a photo of themselves reading and to share it, to foster the month's movement. The middle schools encouraged early morning reading and built towards themed events. At Oakview, there is a March Madness-style reading bracket. Students vote each week for their favorite title, and the books with the most votes move on to the next round. At Walden, each morning, students are challenged to use the Media Center to read prior to school. At the elementary level, the themes become more advanced. Decorations fill each school, usually based on a theme. Paint Creek, Carpenter, and Stadium Drive revolve theirs around a camping theme. The week involves significant planning, usually from the media specialists.
We went with a camping theme for Camp Read Some More to tie in with our theme for the fun run. This whole year is kind of a camping idea, so we went along with that to kind of go with what our PTO has done this year as well. Yeah, they seem to enjoy it. We have different prizes, just something small like a bookmark or a pencil, just for different things like turning off the screen and reading a book for a day, or filling out a reading log, reading 10 to 20 minutes a night. They can earn small prizes, and they seem to like that. We also have a school-wide goal at the end of the month. If everybody combined reads 200,000 minutes, they'll earn a special prize at the very end of the month. So they're excited.
The incentives, both individually and with the classes, become a major push for the students to realize this is a different month, beyond the reading they do the rest of the year. Often that involves partner reading in class for developing readers and with teachers.
We are reading the whole month, like 150 minutes.
And if we reach a goal for the whole school, then we can earn extra recess.
Extra recess,
Yeah,
cool.
with Mr. Weldon.
And the goal is 150,000 minutes.
Oh wow, for the whole school. So you guys are getting started on that. Are you reading at times you wouldn't normally read?
Yeah, like we have to turn off the TV and read and stuff like that. And then on Friday, I think they pick people.
And then we can decorate a bookmark and turn it in, and then there will be a winner in each grade.
One of the special parts of the week are the guest readers. As parents, community members, LOCS administrators, and other teachers pop into the classrooms to read stories to the younger students. Reading is fundamental, and Lake Orion is embracing it all month long. In late February, the Paint Creek Elementary students had a unique experience with a visit from Michigan State Senator Rosemary Bayer. While dignitaries usually visit and simply read to students, Senator Bayer got involved from the beginning, participating in an engineering lesson, engaging in an art class, and connecting with the class about her job. The engineering lesson hit particularly close to home for Senator Bayer.
So we heard, Ms. Bayer, that you have some history with engineering. Is that accurate?
I am an engineer.
You are?
I am.
What?
We have an expert in the house.
Oh my gosh. Do you think you could tell us anything else that would go along with our learning?
Sure. Well, there's a lot of kinds of engineers. So it was a different kind of, it was a problem that needed to be solved. And engineers do a lot of problem solving. We like fixing things and designing things that solve a real problem.
The class's engineering project involved designing a bridge with only toothpicks and marshmallows, and then building it with those items. The students sat at their tables to design the bridge, and Senator Bayer worked with the students. In the art room, there was also a government-community connection, as students were creating designs that would enter a contest to be placed on the Orion Township recycling containers. Her final stop was in the 4th grade class, where students peppered her with questions. She shared her current daily role and helped share lessons about the differences in levels of government, including the bill she sponsored about clean water.
Good, clean, safe, fresh water to drink. And so the bill says everyone in the state has the right to have clean, fresh water to drink. That's a really important thing, and it will impact everyone in the state. It is not yet a law, but we're still working through the process. Yes.
I was just not agreeing.
Oh, that's an agreement.
Yes for us, we agree, or we connect with you.
I like it.
No.
And that means you disagree. Okay, good.
So another reason why everybody should
Yeah.
have clean water is because if you have dirty water, you could get bacteria in your lungs.
Yes, you can get very sick if you don't have clean water. It's important. And most of us here, we're lucky here in Lake Orion. We have a really good water system, and water is clean and safe. And you have those nice hydration stations here at the school, so you can fill up your water bottles, which is a really smart thing. One of the things that I work on a lot is environmental things. So things like clean water, but also things like recycling and dealing with the trash that we all create, right? There's always garbage.
Having her in Lake Orion to connect with her young constituents showed them how important they are as citizens to her, even though they are too young to vote. Before winter faded away, Stadium Drive Elementary and Paint Creek Elementary students experienced the annual ritual of Musher Dan and his dogs visiting. Each visit began with an extended explanation about mushing and Alaska's Iditarod race.
Now, if you kind of notice, my program I give you guys here today is kind of geared around subjects you had in school. We had history, law, all this stuff right here. We had science for friction. Now it's time for a little math class. I do have math class here in the 3rd grade, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, when you leave a checkpoint, you have to carry some mandatory equipment in your sled. So right now, the mushers are busy flying all the supplies out to the checkpoint. You don't carry all your stuff with you at one time. So you come into a checkpoint, you sign in, you have to go through every checkpoint on the trail. You have a veterinarian look over the dog teams. Veterinarians can actually look over the mushers as well because they're trained to be people doctors as well. Then you ask, hey, where's my food supplies at? You start restocking your sled. But then when you leave, you have to have some mandatory equipment with you. The race officials will look through your sled to make sure you have all the mandatory stuff.
His explanations range from the health of the dogs to the condition of the mushers to everything else impacting the unique conditions. Sharing his children's love of the sport and dogs shows their pride in the sport. They even included a song for the students to sing.
1049, then when I get back to my home, hey, I can tell my tale. I did down the right trail.
One more time, guys.
I did down the right trail.
The students' favorite part, of course, the chance to interact with the dogs. After a brief introduction, they got a chance to connect.
When I first started teaching in Lake Orion 28 years ago, one of the other teachers mentioned the Iditarod dog sled race in Alaska. And I thought it would be a really great way to get kids excited about learning across the curriculum. So I started developing some ideas about how we could use it with 3rd graders, and I've done it ever since. So back in the day, we would get fax updates about the race and how the mushers were doing, and the kids would track them on a map. And now we go on the internet and we check out the Iditarod.com website, and each of my kids adopt some Musher, and they follow their path through the race, and we do some research about them. We tie it in with all the different curricular areas, and it's just a really great subject that the kids love, and it's just something that they'll always remember. I have students who are like in their 30s and remember doing the Iditarod. So.
When Cheyenne Washington joined the Lake Orion High School girls bowling team as a freshman, she imagined becoming a champion. 4 years later, her vision became a reality when she won the Division I state title on March 7th at Thunderbolt Lanes in Allen Park.
It was more about me staying calm and not focusing on the scores and everything like that. It was about me staying focused on myself and trying to figure out the lanes faster than the other person did.
And as you were going through the different rounds, were you going up and down? Obviously, your scores fluctuate depending on what's happening, but was there something that was standing out to you in terms of your rhythm?
No, not really. I was mellow throughout the whole entire process. I was trying not to get myself worked up, otherwise it could have went a different way.
Coach O'Neill, what's your role kind of during that? Trying to keep her steady or kind of seizing on certain moments that she has?
It's to keep her steady. Cheyenne and I made an arrangement that I would stay out of her head as much as possible so that she could process the on the lane circumstances that are happening. But we run a score sheet, and I do an analysis of the score sheet to watch the lanes, how they transition. And if Cheyenne's not seeing a reaction on the lanes that I see, then we have a chit-chat, and then we make a game plan change and keep her doing good things.
Washington cruised through her 4 opponents, winning the final match 392 to 354, rolling a 210 in the final game for the title. Finally achieving her goal as a senior came as a result of refining her focus.
This year, I had made a plan, and I decided to talk about it every day. I repeated myself out loud that I wanted to become state champ. And before, it was just me going in and throwing shots and not really focusing on my balls and stuff like that. It was more about me trying to make the cut.
Her coach, Denny O'Neill, always saw her potential.
I think that she had the potential to make it happen. In the competition that we had on Saturday, and I'm sitting this close to her in the competition, and I was watching her do mental relaxation and staying calm. And what Cheyenne said about not watching her competition, that's a WPBA style also. They don't watch the competition. They want to stay within themselves. I was watching Cheyenne stay within herself. She was staying happy, and that, I think, made a big difference, is that she was able to concentrate on the shots, throw quality shots when she needed them, and she did it.
Lake Orion Community Schools has a strong history of collaborating with community businesses, and with so many major companies in the area, there are many opportunities to partner. At Weber Elementary, bringing Bosch engineers into school to assist with lessons over the past few months has provided an expertise rarely available in a classroom setting.
Are testing out real-world examples of designing a jet toy, and so what they're having to do is trial and error, kind of like what we do with our new science program. It's really cool to see, like, modifying design, talking about variables and things like that. The engineers come in and they talk at the beginning each time about their jobs, and they bring in different products, and so the kids can see, like, there's no instruction manual, that literally the things that they are designing, it's by trial and error.
It's over the course of a month. Is each week a different task?
It's actually 6 weeks. So the first 5 weeks is we test different parts of the jet toy, and then the last week the kids get to design their own, taking everything that they've learned.
The process involves comprehension, design, and then execution as they tested their results. 5th grade teacher, Mrs. Murtaugh, explained the assembly to students.
You're going to fold it and make it into this little platform over here. So, like, think of a 3x5 card that you've folded like that, and you're going to put it in here to be like where the balloon is going to sit. Path and the distance. You should all have your measuring tapes in there, and you should have a spot in there to put your distance and your path. So, did it curve? Did it go straight? Did it stop really quick? Did it go 4 feet? Did it go 10 feet? Figure out how to get this connected, and once you have it connected, Now if I take this off, that's gonna power your car, okay?
It's the skinniest one, so it'll help with this. Since our platforms are not very large, what we can try to do is stretch it out. You still have your fold lines here, right here. We can try to stretch it across the sides and tape it on both sides right here and right here. It'll fold the walls of your chassis a little bit inwards, but I think that's going to be one of the best ways that we can put the platform on here and still give it some support. So we can try that and see what we come up with.
So it's really good to get the students, involved and kind of get them to understand that not everything that's on the paper is accurate. You kind of have to think outside the box and make modifications, get their creative minds going, because the kids are our youth for the industry. We need them to kind of think about things a little bit more. They tend to understand a lot more than I would expect just from, having to do this every day. They have very precise questions. They ask a lot. They're very curious, but they're also very knowledgeable of what they're, really going after and the car that they're trying to build.
The connection between Bosch and Weber benefited both sides and provided an opportunity to look forward.
Thank you for watching this edition of Inside the Dragons.
Inside the Dragons is produced by the Lake Orion Community Schools in partnership with Orion Neighborhood Television. For up-to-date news and information about the Lake Orion Schools, visit our website at lakeorionschools.org and watch us on Comcast Educational Access Channel 22 and AT&T UVerse Channel 99.